Childhood can be challenging for anyone, but for Sigma males, it's a journey marked by hidden struggles that play a key role in shaping their unique identity. They rarely fit the conventional mold and often feel like outsiders from an early age. This forces them to adapt, carving out their own path in a world that often misunderstands them. These unseen battles leave lasting imprints, molding their quiet resilience as they grow into adulthood. Although they may appear calm and self-assured later in life, they endure challenges that many never notice. Here are 7 childhood struggles every Sigma male has experienced. Number 1. They didn't have a normal family life. Sigma males often grow up in family environments where emotional support and structure are scarce, and traditional bonding moments are few and far between. This absence of nurturing shapes them in ways most people don't see. They frequently experience emotional distance from their parents, learning early on to manage their feelings alone without turning to others for comfort. In some cases, they find themselves in dysfunctional or broken homes, which, while fostering resilience, also leaves them feeling isolated. Parents, preoccupied with their own lives, often overlook their emotional needs, forcing them to develop a self-sufficient mindset and an internal world that doesn't rely on family connections. Some even take on the role of caretaker for younger siblings, further reinforcing their independence. With little exposure to traditional family activities or shared experiences, Sigma males come to appreciate solitude over socializing and often feel like outsiders within their own homes. This emotional and social detachment from family plays a huge part in shaping them into individuals who learn to thrive on their own, rather than relying on a conventional family structure. Number 2. Self-reliance was a necessity, not a choice. From a young age, Sigma males often find themselves in situations where they can't depend on others, not because they want to be loners, but because life leaves them no choice. Early on, they learn that self-reliance is essential for survival, not only because their parents may be too busy or distracted to provide the attention they needed, but maybe the school system didn't accommodate their unique way of thinking. Whatever the reason, these young boys quickly realize that if something needs to be done, they must do it themselves. This self-reliance isn't about being stubborn or antisocial. It's a survival skill. When no one else seems to understand or support them, they learn to trust their instincts. If they struggled with homework, they figured it out alone. If they felt sad or confused, they kept it to themselves because sharing didn't seem to help. Over time, this becomes second nature. They grow into problem solvers, critical thinkers, and fiercely independent individuals. However, this independence comes at a cost. While other kids relied on friends or sought support, the future Sigma male was learning to stand on his own. This formative struggle shapes their approach to life. As adults, they're often the ones who can handle tough situations with grace and composure. They're resourceful, adaptable, and self-assured. But deep down, there remains a trace of the young boy who learned early on that he could only count on himself. It's a double-edged sword. This self-reliance makes them strong, but also makes it difficult for them to ask for help when needed. Not because they're unwilling, but because it defies everything they learned during their formative years. While this approach may not always be ideal, it has forged them into resilient individuals who can tackle life's challenges on their own if necessary. Number 3. Society's structure was against their nature. From the moment young Sigma males step into the world, they find themselves going against the grain. Society, with its rigid structures and fixed expectations, seems tailored for those who easily follow the well-trodden path. For these independent thinkers, navigating life often feels like being trapped in a maze with no clear exit. The classroom is a prime example. It's designed for conformity, with a standard curriculum and limited room for individual exploration. While other kids adapt and thrive in this structured environment, the Sigma male often feels stifled. They can work in groups and engage in class activities, but they yearn for freedom, the opportunity to delve deeper into subjects that spark their curiosity. Their questioning nature and tendency to think outside the box can sometimes clash with the system. Teachers might misinterpret their curiosity as defiance, distraction, or even disinterest. But these boys aren't trying to be difficult. They're simply seeking to understand the world on their own terms. Even playtime presents challenges. Organized activities, like team sports or group games, have their place. But Sigma males often crave the freedom to explore their unique interests. They're the kids who disassembled their toys to understand how they worked or spent hours perfecting a paper airplane design. This constant friction between their natural tendencies and societal expectations leaves a lasting impact. It teaches them early on that they don't fit into the conventional mold, but it also nurtures their creativity and independent thinking. Rather than conforming, they learn to carve out their own path, guided by their curiosity and individuality. Over time, these struggles help forge their self-assured and innovative approach to life, setting them apart in a world that often values uniformity. Number 4. Their curiosity was seen as a negative trait. From an early age, Sigma males display a boundless curiosity that often lands them in trouble. While most kids are content to accept things as they are, Sigma males are the ones constantly asking why and how. Unfortunately, their relentless questioning is often misunderstood rather than celebrated. In classrooms, their probing questions are sometimes viewed as disruptions rather than signs of an eager and intelligent mind. Teachers, juggling the demands of managing a full classroom, might respond with phrases like, "We don't have time for that now," or "That's not part of today's lesson." While these responses aim to maintain order, they can stifle the curiosity of a Sigma male. At home, their endless inquiries like, "How do airplanes fly?" can feel overwhelming to tired parents. What the child sees as a fascinating journey of discovery, adults might perceive as exhausting or even unnecessary. This curiosity doesn't stop at asking questions. Sigma males are the kids dismantling the TV remote to understand how it works, or spending hours researching obscure topics that spark their interest. However, instead of encouragement, they often hear comments like, "Stop messing with that," or "Why can't you just play like the other kids?" Peers may find them strange or too serious, as their quest for deeper understanding sets them apart from classmates who are happy to take things at face value. Even well-meaning adults may try to redirect their curiosity, asking, "That's interesting, but how will it help you get a job?" Over time, these young Sigma males learn to suppress their questions and curiosity to avoid criticism or judgment. What once felt like a strength begins to feel like a quirk to be hidden. But despite this discouragement, the spark of curiosity never truly dies. It simply goes dormant, waiting for the right moment to resurface. As they grow older, Sigma males learn to embrace their insatiable curiosity, often turning it into a powerful tool. They become lifelong learners who never stop questioning, exploring, and seeking knowledge. Ultimately, what society once misunderstood becomes one of their greatest assets. Number 5. They always felt different. From an early age, Sigma males had an unshakable sense that they didn't quite fit in. It wasn't something they could easily articulate, but deep down, they knew they saw the world differently. While other kids seemed to move in harmony, doing and thinking alike, Sigma males often felt like outsiders looking in. This sense of being different showed up in various ways. Perhaps they gravitated toward creativity rather than sports, or their sense of humor didn't align with their peers. They might have been the kids more interested in discussing complex topics with adults than engaging in typical childhood games. Their interests frequently veered away from what was considered cool or popular among their age group. In class, They often offered unique perspectives, spotting connections others missed. While teachers might have admired their insights, classmates could react with confusion or even ridicule. It wasn't about showing off their minds, simply worked differently. Family gatherings posed similar challenges. While cousins and siblings easily fell into playful chatter, Sigma males often felt like observers, unsure how to join in or uninterested in the conversations around them. This sense of being different wasn't always negative. Sometimes it brought a quiet pride, a feeling that they saw the world in a unique and valuable way. But more often it left them longing to belong, to find people who truly understood them. As they grew older, this feeling of being different didn't fade. It became a defining aspect of who they are. Over time, they learned to embrace their individuality, recognizing it as a strength rather than a flaw. Yet they never forgot how challenging it was as a child, feeling confused, isolated, and wondering why they didn't quite fit in. These memories remain with them, shaping how they navigate the world and interact with others as adults. Number 6. They were constantly underestimated and questioned. While Sigma males may have always felt different, society often reinforced this feeling by underestimating and questioning them at every turn. Their refusal to conform to expectations was frequently misinterpreted as an inability to succeed. In school, their unconventional thinking and selective engagement were often misunderstood by teachers. They might excel in subjects that captivated them, but their disinterest in less inspiring topics was wrongly viewed as laziness or a lack of intelligence. Their unique problem-solving methods, which deviated from traditional approaches, were sometimes labeled as incorrect simply because they didn't follow the standard path. Among peers, their thoughtful and reserved demeanor was often mistaken for weakness or social awkwardness. Other children, and even adults, frequently assumed they were less capable, less interesting, or less ambitious than they actually were. This constant underestimation left a lasting mark on young Sigma males. It compelled them to develop a thick skin and an unshakable sense of self-reliance. Instead of seeking validation from others, they learned to trust their own instincts and judgment, even when doubted by everyone around them. Over time, these challenges became opportunities. Sigma males found ways to quietly exceed expectations, surprising those who had underestimated them. They thrived on proving others wrong, using doubt as motivation to push themselves even further. As adults, they continue to face skepticism and underestimation, but rather than feeling discouraged, they embrace it as a challenge. Their resilience and drive ensure they not only meet expectations, but often surpass them, achieving remarkable things on their own terms. Number 7. They struggled to fake enthusiasm for things they didn't care about. For Sigma males, pretending to be excited about something they didn't genuinely care about was always a challenge. While other kids could easily feign interest to fit in, Sigma males found it exhausting to fake enthusiasm for things that didn't resonate with them. When friends buzzed with excitement over the latest video game or toy, Sigma males often felt disconnected. They didn't want to be the odd one out, but forcing themselves to share the same level of enthusiasm felt unnatural and draining. As children, this struggle could make them feel isolated. They weren't trying to be difficult or dismissive. It simply wasn't in their nature to engage passionately with something that didn't genuinely capture their interest. As they grew older, however, this inner conflict began to fade. They learned to embrace their authentic selves and stopped feeling the need to conform just to fit in. While they may still struggle to show excitement for things that don't genuinely interest them, they've grown comfortable with this aspect of their personality. Rather than feeling guilty about their lack of enthusiasm, they now see it as a reflection of their authenticity and deep sense of purpose. They save their energy for pursuits that truly matter to them, embodying the strength and independence that defines who they are.